hybrid athlete. Yeah, just figured we want to film a little bit more of a long form kind of content video. You know, what it's like to train whilst effectively bodybuilding and running at the same time. We're not really going to use the term hybrid athlete just yet, but we're just going to run through a session, hopefully get some level of value in it. You know, we're going to be talking all things training modalities and our methods, going into what is going to be our biggest event, which we'll touch on later down the line when we get into the gym. But so far, we've eaten, we've caffeinated, we're going to go train. Do this shit.
Fuck. Bro. What's this?
Sign up to All In Run Club, April 6th. Fuck's sake. Ignore all of that, bro. These are carbs, innit? So these are good carbs. let's go train, bro. Yeah, so probably warm up a pec deck and then go into a couple non-optimal movements as a bodybuilder, really. Like in effect, I just bodybuild and run now, so you know the bodybuilding side is a bit touch and go. I can sort of do what I want. You know, as long as I'm stimulating the muscle, you know, I don't really need to be going hell for leather, training to failure. Probably like 1 or 2 reps in reserve, which makes me feel like a little bitch at times, but you know, we still look pretty sick, I think. Anyway, we'll see how this gets on anyway. Yeah, in effect, right now I'm starting off with a pec deck just to get blood through the chest. Like you'll notice, like I don't really do any sort of set warm up like resistance bands and stuff like that, because I think a lot of people waste a lot of time warming up. Like unless I've got a set issue that needs resolving, say I've got a shoulder mobility issue, or I have a specific target muscle that I need to warm up. For the sake of safety, I'll probably get a band out, but at the moment just training push, shoulders, chest. Yeah, like I've got no issues in the upper, so start off with a pec deck, blood through the chest, and that makes all the pressing movements a lot more safer, just so I've got blood in the area. It's a lot more mobile, so just jump straight into your first working movement, lighter weight, and then work yourself up. So I don't really train to failure anymore, it's kind of hard to resist, especially with the upper body stuff. I think as a man, you sort of need to sort of get some blood in the upper body, otherwise you just feel tiny, don't you? But kind of like the, you know, we'll call it the hybrid training stuff. I sort of have to be a little bit more conservative with my energy at the moment. Like running 50 kilometers a week, like it's a lot to run and lift. And like at the moment I'm lifting like 3-4 times a week, so being a little bit more conservative with my energy across the lifts, just getting enough stimulus in the muscles to keep what I've got, alongside a positive nitrogen balance with adequate protein. Yeah, we're just sort of training 1 to 2 reps in reserve, but like I said, it's sort of hard to resist that urge to take those last couple of reps, especially as a man in the upper body. But I think a lot of people need to, especially if they are trying to mix the lifting and running, understand where to place their energy. Like you can't go hell for leather on it all, or otherwise you will burn out. I think especially within a training block as well, like prioritising your strength, your gain, your cut, muscle retention, such over your running, or if you're trying to get speedier. If you're trying to get faster, like you would prioritise your running over your lifting. But I think understanding where to place your energy is going to benefit you long term in the hybrid world, without burning out. You actually find you're making 10 times more progress in both modalities if you prioritise one and just keep the other on the back burner, so to speak. So if you're running and lifting, prioritise your running, lift as a supplement to it. Or if you're prioritising your lifting, run as a supplement to it, because they will benefit both, but you can't do both at the same intensity at the same time, because you'll just burn out and you'll hate the time.
All I hear, go get the money, so I go get it. Hate means I do something right, so I'ma let him. Yeah, I'ma let him, yeah, I'ma let him. I hit the nail on the head, yeah, I'ma let him. All I hear, go get the money, so I go get it.
Perfect hybrid space, isn't it? I can't believe I'm saying that. on a piece of like prime bodybuilding kit as well. Yeah, it's fucking harmful. Yeah, like, as I was just saying to Jude, like understanding how to just be like a normal person within like training, like to be able to do like this whole fitness thing like long term, you just have to understand that it is all about like delaying that gratification. You're not going to get everything super quick. Don't try and be like the next like D1 athlete. Like just be a normal person, do what you normally do, and just build on those 1%. Like as cliche as it sounds, like, you know, train that extra day a week, do that extra mileage, make that better choice with your nutrition. Like, don't try and go hell for leather because you will just hate it. Like I was so locked in on bodybuilding for such a long time, and yeah, like after my first year, like I wouldn't say I hated it, but I started to resent the process. You know, like I would eat 5 times a day. If I didn't eat my 5th meal, I'd throw a fit. Like, you know, food would make you anxious. Yeah, it's just not a fucking good place to be. It's just be a normal person. Like, understand that it does take time to like build up to that level where you are doing it like autonomously. Like, fitness is just a part of your daily life. Yeah, just be normal about it. Like, fitness is so like it's communal, but everyone just tries to create some sort of like cult around you know, lifting, bodybuilding, hybrid stuff. Like, just be normal. That's like my biggest hate, that everything is just so cult focused. Like, just be normal about it. We know full well that you're not up at 4 AM every single day. We know full well that you're not being 100% on your nutrition all the time, but people still relax if they are. Just be normal. Like, admit that you had a McDonald's on the weekend, or admit that you missed a session, like, and then just crack on with it again the next day, and again get 1% better. It's just weird, isn't it? Just be normal and enjoy it. One big thing that I am grateful for from the bodybuilding side of things is learning how to train hard. Like, I think a lot of people think that lifting is just going to grow the muscle, but they don't understand how they need to lift. Like, taking those extra reps that do seem like they're impossible to get when you're in the set are the reps that will get you muscle. They will keep you muscle as well if you're dieting. And understanding that like training to failure is a skill that you have to build on. That's one thing I'm pretty grateful for from the bodybuilding side, is learning how to train hard. Because whilst I'm running and like spending my energy elsewhere, like business, running, just general day-to-day life, like I can still come in and put in a good quality set on a machine like this and still get adequate stimulus to keep what I've got and not just look like a complete bag of milk. Yeah, that's one big thing that people need to understand. Just learn how to train hard for the sake of stimulating the muscle for growth, and not just lifting, you know, to 10 to 12 reps and stopping there, because it will just do you more harm than good. But that's it. So I think, like, the funny thing, you know, we talk about bodybuilding a lot, like the comparisons between like bodybuilding and like the hybrid stuff. But as a bodybuilder, like, you would not want to do a movement like this. Like, it is, you know, as if we're looking at muscle building efficiently, like, you want to be able to put the best possible stimulus through the muscle, like maximally. And then to be able to do that, you need to be as stable as possible. Obviously, standing overhead press is not stable. Like, the limiting factor here isn't the muscle that you're trying to stimulate, being like the front delt. Like, you've got limiting factors like your wrists and your spine as well. And more commonly, like, people will tend to arc their spine when things start to get hard on this. You've also got your core can play a lot more as well, because you haven't got like a back pad to stabilise the movement. So from a bodybuilding context, our muscle aspect, this probably wouldn't be as optimal, but you know, it's still gonna build muscle, still gonna retain muscle. And you know, whilst I am running, you know, I can go with these things that aren't as stable because I've got other priorities like my core strength, my overhead mobility. So hence overhead press is in, and I'm not being a total meathead on all the machines. that's what I'm talking about. Like, I don't know if you've seen it there, but like I probably arced my spine a little bit too much those last 2 reps. It's not gonna be a detriment to my fatigue or performance or anything like that. But over time, if I start to load that heavier and start to do that sort of shit, yeah, my back wouldn't like me. Then subsequently, my running would be totally shot because my back would be in pain. So yeah, like I said previously, just understanding where to place your energy. Like, I'm not going to do that shit again. It's a bit silly. It's really, really important if you want to be able to progress in both running and lifting. Like, just don't be silly. Like me. Cam's challenged me to 1 rep max. Got a strict press and close to push press. He's just gone out and banged about 8 reps, just strict. So as a man, I sort of have to play up to that and do the same. I'm not going to do that shit again. It's a bit silly. It's really, really important if you want to be able to progress in both running and lifting. Like, just don't be silly. Like me. Okay, that wasn't too silly. Maybe look another 5 kilo either side. Your challenge, right? Do you want to go up to 100? Then we've got really break the spine. That could work. I'll do 1 more set actually. 1 more set. So in here, intra-workout drink electrolyte tablets, salt, or creatine as well. Yeah, let's touch on creatine. Because realistically, like, creatine and electrolytes are probably the go-to subs for anyone training. Creatine, well, electrolytes primarily going to hydrate the muscle so that they're able to exert a maximal load. And then your creatine as well. Creatine, I mean, a lot of people talk about creatine and take creatine for the sake of it, but not a lot of people know what it does. Like, creatine as a supplement will draw a lot more water into the muscle, so muscle stay hydrated, and that's why people say it'll look fuller. It will do, because more water is being held within the muscle, so the muscle is pushing against the skin a lot more. That's what creatine does. And at the same time, it makes energy a lot more readily available when you train. If you think of like a high exertion set, 1 rep max, like your ability to recover after, say, like a 1 rep max set, or even just any sort of set, whether it be 10, 15 reps to failure, you're able to recover a lot quicker from that set and produce a similar level of force following that in a second or third set, for instance. So creatine and electrolytes, hydration, and exertion, yeah, they're gonna be your go-to. So if you're not getting them in, whether that be first thing in the morning or whilst you train, get them in. Yeah, I do 3 sets of this and then a 4. So again, like I said, being silly is just gone out the window.
I've noticed you around. I find you very
Pompous and spread loads of chalk on me as well to look like a real deal. 18? 30, 36.
Would you go back with me?
That's it. On the topic of stability earlier, like after going from that pretty unstable movement, despite us not trying to be like overly optimal, I still want to be able to get an adequate stimulus, so I will go something a little bit more stable for my flat press. So I'll opt for a machine over a set of dumbbells, just because I'm able to get that stability from a machine over the dumbbells, because I've just exerted a lot. I'll probably say it like a billion times. Like I will never label myself as a hybrid athlete. Like, I just hate the term. Like, as I was saying earlier, like the whole fitness cult thing. Like 10 years ago, a person who lifts and runs is just an avid enjoyer of fitness in the gym. Like for some reason now, I think a lot of people they can't classify themselves as an athlete for some reason. So they look for the next best label and create a hybrid athlete so that they can have a label. Like, you know, not to sound like a pedantic arsehole, but you just go to the gym, you just run and lift. You know, if you want to label yourself an athlete, like, be an athlete. You know, hybrid athlete is just you run, you lift, you do bits and bobs. You know, you just go gym. A lot of confusion around how you should actually perform movements. Like, you've got the eccentric and the concentric. A lot of people focus a lot on like the concentric, so like the contraction of the muscle. So it affects like where like the muscle squeezes. Like realistically, you want to spend the most amount of time in that eccentric. So like there, as my elbows are being drawn towards my body, as the pecs were stretching, that's where you're going to find the most tension on the muscle throughout. So you want to spend more time in that eccentric than the concentric. Like the concentric here, if I was to like do one rep, like here, yeah, I've got the chest contracted, but nothing's really happening right now, and my joints are stacked. So if anything, I've got more of the load over like my wrists, my elbows, my shoulders. Then I'll do the chest. Whereas if I was to come here, okay, elbows are drawn back, a lot more of the load is across the chest, whilst the fibers are stretched. So when you're thinking of like any sort of movement, think of the stretch being the most productive part of the movement, the muscle building process. So when you're thinking that you have to spend like 3 seconds in the squeeze and squeeze as hard as you can, spend more time in the eccentric and just be as forceful as you can in the concentric. Of course, you want to be able to put the most amount of load through the muscle. So just be forceful and then control back in. Because you're not being a dick and like throwing shit about. No, we're talking about muscle building as like in the most like efficient way. One you can call it a superset, but one thing that I'd probably include in a lot of people's programs, for a lot of lads generally that want like wider shoulders, dumbbell lateral raise, and then you follow that by cable lateral raise. Now, reason being, dumbbell lateral raise places more tension in the concentric, so in the shortened position when the side of the delt is contracted. Whereas the cable, you'll find you'll have a lot more tension in this bottom position where the side of the delt is stretched. So when you're in that stretched position, you're going to be a lot stronger. So if you was to rinse the side delt in shortened position, okay, then transition to a cable where you're a lot stronger, you've still got a little bit of juice left in the muscle, you can still exert force in that lengthened position, you find your shoulder's just going to blow up, especially if you don't do any sort of lateral raises. You know, I think I gave this to like one lad in the DMs, and he messaged me like a couple of days later saying like his shoulders are absolutely fucking blown up, like you got the craziest pump ever. So yeah, if you want the same dumbbell lateral raise in the shortened position, followed by cable lateral raise in the lengthened position, and yeah, they're pretty wide delts.
All I hear, go get the money, so I go get it. Hate means I do something right, so I'ma let 'em. Yeah, I'ma let 'em, yeah, I'ma let 'em. I hit the nail on the head, yeah, I'ma let 'em.
If I like look at my nutrition now, comparatively to when I was like bodybuilding, I'm eating like every like 2-3 hours. It gets to like 4 hours, I'm probably having a fit. Whereas now, like I need to be a lot more meticulous with like how much I eat, the volume of the food that I eat as well. Volume just like tends to like the amount of food that is physically going in, especially like whilst I run, I lift. Like when I lift, I could probably, like as I did when I was bodybuilding, get away with eating a lot of food. Primarily, you just want all the carbs in, just to satiate the muscle, saturate, like carbs and water. And then if you're going to run, you want something that's going to be like dense in carbohydrates, but pretty low in volume. So, like bagels, low in volume, high carbs, squares bars. That's why squares bars are deemed as like some sort of like magic food because they're low in volume, high in carbs. Cereal, it's a good one. Cereal's quite high in volume at times. But yeah, being a lot more meticulous with your nutrition. If you're trying to do the both, is going to play a massive part in your performance and ability to do both. Yeah, if I ate how I did when I was bodybuilding, absolutely not a chance in hell I'll be able to train for an ultra marathon because my gut would just be blown up 24/7. Like on the topic of nutrition as well, like if we think of like how you're supposed to fuel for running, like at the moment training my gut to, being a heavier guy, like I need a lot of carbohydrates in because I have a lot more muscle to fuel. So at the moment, like yesterday, 20k on the training block, like I think I took like half a pack of oat biscuits, like right before I ran, and then training the gut with a pack of Percy Pigs, like 130 carbs in that, low volume but high density in carbs. Yeah, it's hard, but it's really important to understand the difference between fueling for running, the types of running that you're doing as well, and lifting, because they're going to differ massively. And I think a lot of people just think, whole foods, good foods, prior to both kinds of training sessions are going to be beneficial. Like, it's better than shit food, but understanding how to fuel differently for both is going to be massive. Taking a pack of Percy Pigs on a 2-hour run was a new feeling, and the run to the toilet afterwards was a new one as well. So just being mindful of how to fuel, will take you a lot further than just being ignorant to it. Yeah, like on the, in the direction of food as well. Like at the moment, my ability to like get a pump in the gym is dictated by my ability to uptake food and uptake carbohydrates. Like a pump is effectively like how much blood you can get in the muscle. Obviously being hydrated is going to help that. Being fueled adequately with carbs is going to help that as well, because the water and the carbs, the water is going to pull the carbs into the muscle, hence a better pump. And although, like for the lads, like a pump isn't a key indicator of a good session, it is a good indicator that you are getting stimulus through a target muscle. And in turn, you're going to acquire a lot more fullness visually as well. So when you take your top off in the gym, you're probably going to feel a little bit better than if you didn't have carbs, didn't have a pump, and then felt like a bag of milk and looked flat. Food as well. Like I think a lot of people need to understand the role that strength training will play in your entire journey, injury prevention, muscle building, and metabolic activity as well. Like you think of, like I get a lot of questions when I post my clients eating way more food than they ever have done before, and that's simply down to their ability to train hard within their strength training. Like your muscle is of course going to be more metabolically active, so it's going to require a lot more fuel. If you're strength training and you're strength training with an adequate intensity to demand the fuel, then you'll find that your baseline is going to be a lot higher because your muscles are a lot more active. A lot of people think when they get into running that they can just run, and they'll require more food. They won't, because running isn't going to stimulate a muscle as much strength training will. Running is only just going to accrue more fatigue over time. So your ability to uptake food won't be as high as strength training. So when you're thinking of how can I eat more, or how can I increase my deficit, strength training is going to play a massive role, because you're going to be more metabolically active. You're going to have a lot more muscle on you to fuel. So strength training, fuel more, eat more, happy life, run more. Yeah, I can't actually see right now, so I'm just going to let the camera do the work. Check the cameras do the work. See how that looks on camera. My biggest thing whilst like running, like for me personally, is not being like fucking tiny. Like I don't want to be a hybrid athlete, but I don't want to run and look like I run. Like I want to be on like the start line of a race and people think like, fucking hell, is he about to race with us? You know? So like the biggest thing for me is like retaining the size that I've got, and just getting faster. Like again, I'm prioritising my running at the moment, so that gets a lot more of my energy. My strength training is just primarily to stimulate muscle to keep it alongside just having a high protein diet. Like at the moment, I'm not growing any muscle over a long period of time, like I will. But at the moment, the focus isn't gaining, because I'll be a lot fatter than I am now. So yeah, at the moment, I'll continue to get leaner as I run more and my kilometers go up in the week, whilst retaining the muscle that I've got. So naturally, I'll look like I've got more muscle because I'm gonna have more cut edges, if you will, better insertions, less fat covering the muscle essentially. I haven't grown any muscle, and I've just effectively revealed it by getting leaner. But at the moment, running's the priority, just without looking like I run. So yeah, it's a full session. Yeah, hopefully you got some level of value from that. Sort of got an idea of how we would train whilst running, whilst training a hybrid athlete lifestyle without being a hybrid athlete. Yeah, at some point we will get a session down of what our running setup looks like. But for now, hopefully you got some level of value. And if you did enjoy it, then like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Follow me on Instagram, drop me a DM if you've got any questions.